Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Follow me on Twitch to watch my live streams, and like and subscribe for 20 extra episodes next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Eda the Owl Lady from Owl House, a witch who defies convention by refusing to pick a particular school of magic. It takes some serious bravery to roll up a caster and not just pick Fireball. I mean, we're gonna pick Fireball, just not only Fireball.
You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies.
Let's start off with the rules for this build. First, we need magic of all kinds, or most kinds. I didn't actually do the math on the spell list to make sure we have a spell from every list, but there's a lot. Next, we need to not magic, using a transformation to go a little wilder than we already were. Finally, we'll get a house with some magical security, truly the most fantastical element of the show. Not the magical security, the idea of owning a house. I'm jealous. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. There's some weird ones. Intelligence will be number 1, you get your magic from nature, and nature is an intelligence skill? Huh, what's druid for then? Strength next. When you decide to owl out, you need owl strength. When I think of owls, I think of big beefy muscles. Charisma after that, everyone either loves or fears Eda, and she's great at lying. Follow it up with constitution, it's important for concentration, and you literally tear your head off without dying, that's pretty metal. Dexterity is a bit low, we don't need it for anything, but swindling, we can get skills for that, and we'll dump wisdom. Sometimes a curse makes you go feral. Understandable. I'm tiptoeing on feral myself. Eda is a cursed witch with an owl form, so I'm gonna go with owl and hexblood for her race. Weirdly, the witch part isn't the curse, the owl part is, but whatever. From Owlin, you can keep your flying speed and the stealth skill. We'll bump your strength by 2 and your intelligence by 1 and enjoy 60 feet of dark vision. Hex magic lets you cast disguise self or hex once per day. Disguise self changes your appearance, and hex gives creatures disadvantage on skill checks of a certain type, also adding a d6 of necrotic damage to your attacks against them. You can only use one of these for free per long rest, but you can also use them with spell slots. We'll have spell slots later. The weirdest part of Hexblade is the eerie token, letting you remove a piece of your hair, a fingernail, or teeth as a bonus action. You can use this for some telepathic communication or use it as a sort of camera. Just hope that nobody notices the tooth you left on their sofa. There isn't a one-for-one way to remove limbs without harm, but this is the closest we're gonna get. Build your own background for performance and deception skills to run scams and play the lute with rain. We'll kick things off as an artificer, giving us 2 skills from the artificer list, like nature and sleight of hand. Those are the skills we need. You also get proficiency with tinkerer's tools and thieves tools. Thieves tools I really want, so you can pick locks and stuff. You also get artificer spells, but I'm gonna focus on the tchotchkes first. Magical tinkering lets you put a tiny magical effect into a tiny non-magical item, little puffs of smoke, static images, or sounds. It lets you goose up the stuff from the human realm. For spells, message lets you whisper to someone within 120 feet of you, and they can whisper back. You don't even have to give them a tooth. Mage Hand lets you lift objects weighing 5 pounds or less with a floating spectral hand. Low-grade telekinesis. Featherfall lets you save up to 5 falling creatures. As a reaction, it's an emergency form of flight that doesn't let you fly up. That's higher level stuff. You've got a flying speed anyway. Catapult forces a dexterity saving throw on a creature, dealing 1d12 bludgeoning damage as you use your telekinesis to yeet something at them. Second level artificers get infusions, little magical items that always have that magic on them. A bag of holding is like a normal bag, but it can store up to 500 pounds and 64 gallons. That'll let you get all the stuff from the human world back in one easy, reusable bag. Enhanced arcane focus adds 1 to the attack rolls with a spellcasting focus, and you can ignore quarter cover, which will matter more when we get some spell attacks. An alchemy jug is a jug full of liquid that you like, just shake and boom, you got apple blood. That's not actually one of the options, but wine is, and let's be honest, apple blood isn't just juice. That's a grown-up drink. Mind Sharpener lets you succeed on a concentration save you should fail 1d4 times per dawn. It recharges on dawns, not long rests or short rests. Kind of weird, but you know, dawn. Third level artificers are what we're here for. A specialty. Alchemists get experimental elixirs, 1 per long rest for free, and more with spell slots. Roll a d6 to determine the effect. A 1 gives the drinker 2d4 plus your intelligence in healing. A 2 boosts walking speed by 10 feet for an hour. A 3 gives the creature +1 to their AC for 10 minutes. A 4 gives them a d4 to add to attack rolls or saving throws. A 5 gives the user a 10 10-foot flying speed for 10 minutes, and a 6 lets them choose one effect of the Alter Self spell. That's disguising, water breathing, or a natural weapon that deals 1d6 damage with a +1 to attack and damage rolls. Potions, they're great. They take a while to get, but they're really fun, especially when you have more first level slots. We'll get those when we bounce over to Barbarian. Wait, no, Barbarians can't cast. But they do get to rage, activating your owl form for extra damage on strength-based attacks, get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, and you get advantage on strength checks and saves. You can't cast spells while raging, so how could that be good for a witch? It's not, it's a curse. Unarmored defense is a little better, making your AC 10 plus your dexterity and constitution when you're not wearing armor, even though we don't actually have that much constitution or dexterity. Second level barbarians get reckless attacks, letting you make your melee attacks with advantage, though your enemies will have advantage on their attacks against you. Danger sense gives you advantage on dexterity saving throws against spells and traps you can see. Going feral does help your reaction time a little bit. Third level barbarians get what I really want, a primal path. Beast barbarians can choose a form of beast, like claws, which deal 1d6 slashing damage and can make 2 attacks as an action once per turn. Both benefit from the extra damage from rage, so it's actually kind of good. You still can't cast spells though. Could pick up a tail or a bite attack, but Eda is more slashy than crunchy. Fourth level barbarians get an ability score improvement. Bump your intelligence. Casting spells is just going to be better than being cursed. Being cursed is a backup when you run out of slots or you need to become a bit tankier. Quick dip back to Artificer for the 4th level ability score improvement. We're going to cap off our intelligence before we really start casting. We'll do that as a wizard, letting you learn a bunch more spells. Firebolt is a great offensive option. Ranged spell attack that deals 2d10 fire damage, pretty standard wizard attack. Light makes a light for Luce and her bad human eyes. Prestidigitation is a bunch of small flavor stuff, like magical tinkering, but it also makes tiny objects that you could tinker with. For your first level spells, Find Familiar will give you a palisman, a tiny animal to run around, and you can cast touch range spells through it as well. Fog Cloud creates some heavily obscuring fog if you ever need to just get out of dodge. Sleep puts 5d8 worth of HP to sleep in a small area, starting at the smallest HP total and moving up from there, another great escape tool. Shield adds 5 to your AC as a reaction, always useful against various attacks, witches or soldiers. Burning Hands makes a 15-foot cone flamethrower that forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures inside, dealing 3d6 fire damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. For some magic bolts, Magic Missile shoots 3 darts that deal 1d4 plus 1 force damage each, and they can't be avoided unless the enemy, which is also casting shield. You also get better naps with Arcane Recovery, letting you recover half your wizard level in spell slots on a short rest. That's more potions if you want more potions, or more spells if you want more spells. Second level wizards can choose a school, but to reject school and start singing, choose the Blade Singing School. It's not a school, it's violence. Blade songs let you add your intelligence modifier to your AC and concentration saving throws. You can add 10 feet to your movement speed and give yourself advantage on acrobatics checks. That is a huge buff to your AC, and since it's not a spell, you can use it while raging if you want to be your owl form and still be a little bit viable. Or just use it for better spell casting, because, that's better. For this level spells, Earth Tremor makes an area around you difficult terrain and forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures within 10 feet of you. Failing that, they take 1d6 bludgeoning damage and they're knocked prone. Later, I want to put this into floor runes, but it's still a nice option if you just want to knock someone on their butt. Silvery Barbs lets you insult someone as a reaction, giving them disadvantage on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, and if they fail, it's so funny. So funny that an ally gets advantage on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Bullying works. Third level wizards can learn second level spells. Invisibility makes you invisible for an hour depending on your concentration, but also ends early if you cast a spell or make an attack. Basically, you gotta hold your breath. Shadowblade summons a magical illusory sword that deals 2d8 psychic damage. It can be thrown, it's finesse, it's pretty great, just requires your concentration. Fourth level wizards get another ability score improvement, bump your strength up now for better cursed attacking if you're into that. For this level spell, Misty Step lets you teleport 30 feet as a bonus action, getting in or out of combat when you need to. Knock breaks a lock or a hinge, it's really loud, but follow it up with invisibility, and bail, easy stealing. Fifth level wizards can learn third level spells. Glyph of Warding lets you store a spell of third level or lower in a glyph that gets activated when someone steps on it. Or you could use an explosive rune that is also in the spell, but I like to get more creative and put something funky in it. Earth Tremor gives you earth spikes. Fly gives a creature a 60-foot flying speed for up to 10 minutes. We need more Artificer levels for a broom of flying. Just kidding, you can't get it. Best you could ever do is boots of flying that you tie to a broom. 6th level Blade Singers get extra attack, letting you make 2 attacks with your action or 1 attack and 1 cantrip. The extra attack works while you're raging, so that's 3 claw attacks if you want. Or you could just keep casting spells, like Fireball, forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 20-foot radius sphere, dealing 86 fire damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. It's a big fireball. I promised we'd get it. Dispel Magic removes the effects of a magical spell of 3rd level or lower automatically, and higher level spells with an intelligence check of 10 plus the spell's level. Do that creepy, black, oozy, cursy stuff that stops magic from happening, but intentionally. 7th level wizards can learn 4th level spells. Tulok's Resilient Sphere surrounds a creature with an impenetrable ball. No attacks can go in or out. If they don't want to be trapped inside, they can make a dexterity saving throw to jump out at the last second. It keeps Luz safe either by blocking her inside or locking an evil witch inside, either or. If Ard's Black Tentacles forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 20-foot square, failing that they take 3d6 bludgeoning damage as some funky tentacles restrain them. They take that damage every time they start their turn there, restrained as well. It's a really creepy spell, but Hootie is a really creepy owl house. 8th level wizards get another ability score improvement, cap off your strength for the ultimate backup option. I've been thinking about it while writing the build and figured this out. Having the rage as a backup lets you play super aggressively with your spell slots, knowing that you've got some viable options left when you run out. For this level spell, Dimension Door lets you teleport up to 500 feet as an action and even bring a buddy with you, so you can get Luz or King to safety. For the first bit of the adventure, you're the only one in the party who can do stuff. They should not be in the fight. To talk to that person you dropped off, Sending lets you communicate with any creature on the same plane as you. It's Pentagram. 9th level wizards can learn 5th level spells. Telekinesis lets you lift objects with your mind that weigh 1,000 pounds or less, or you could even lift creatures up if you can beat them in a contest of your intelligence and their athletics. You've got capped off intelligence, so I think they're going up. Dreams lets you invade the dreams of another creature, either helping them work through some of their trauma and sharing some information, or giving them a bad dream. Bad dreams force a wisdom saving throw on a creature, failing that they awaken not only without the benefits of a long rest, but they also take 3d6 psychic damage. It's a little evil, but can be great if you know a boss you're going to fight the next day. 10th level blade singers get a Song of Defense, letting you spend your spell slots to reduce damage as an action by an amount equal to 5 times the spell's level. While this does spend spell slots, hard to say, it doesn't actually mean casting a spell, so you can use it while raging to become pretty much invincible once per turn. But for spells to cast, animate objects bring some stuff to life, a la the fairy godmother. The smaller the things, the more you can animate, but they don't hit as hard or have as much HP as the bigger stuff. Figure out how you want to use it. Stat blocks are in the player's handbook. Far Step is some more consistent teleporting 60 feet as a bonus action every round, depending on your concentration, if you don't want to spend a bunch of small slots on Misty Step. 11th level wizards can learn 6th level spells. Tasha's Otherworldly Guise is your sexy new owl form that doesn't totally curse you, giving you a flying speed, adding 2 to your AC, and letting you make weapon attacks using your intelligence modifier instead of strength. You also are immune to fire and poison damage and the poison condition, or radiant and necrotic damage and the charmed condition. Dealer's choice, figure out what the Emperor seems more likely to do. Guards and wards will keep your owl house safe with tons of effects you can put on the house to make it annoying to pillage. Gusts of wind, fog clouds, it's so much. Check it out in the player's handbook. Our capstone is the 12th level of wizard for one last ability score improvement. Bump your constitution for 20 extra HP, better concentration, and better unarmored defense. For our last 2 spells, Arcane Gate makes one portal within 5 feet of you and another within 500 feet of you. An unlimited number of creatures or objects can go through those portals for up to 10 minutes depending on your concentration. Those are the full-on Doctor Strange portals. Magic Jar lets you take a creature's soul, put it in a jar, put your soul in a jar, take your soul out of that jar, put that into their body, or put their soul into your body for some freaky Fraturday fun. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, your spell list is wild, wacky, and full of variety. You can deal damage, put people to sleep, become invisible, pick locks, make an owl tentacle. It's pretty limitless. You also have no reason to hold back on spell slots, because if you use them up, you can still rage and be a decent melee fighter, especially if you also get blade songs up for better AC. Finally, you've got mobility options with flight and teleportation on your spell list to get you and your family around. For weaknesses, your wisdom is really low, so charm person and hold person are big issues. Your AC is also bad, only 12 before blade song, which is really bad, and 17 afterwards. Not even great then. Finally, you can't cast spells while raging. Multiclassing Barbarian and Spellcaster is just never going to be the best idea. Sure, it's a backup option, but ideally you would never have to hit the backup option. But who cares if you're messy? You don't want a mono class. That's the kind of baloney the Emperor would be into. Pick any spell you want. Don't be afraid to let the owl out, and just watch out for more focused enemies. Or you could find yourself in a battle of titanic proportions. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Follow me on Twitch if you want to watch me do live streams, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.